complaints for preliminary investigation against former House Speaker Martin Romualdez, Mr. Elizalde, and several others. One, for plunder under Republic Act number 7080, and another for violation of the Anti-Money Laundering Act as amended. Let me be precise about what this announcement means and what it does not mean. A complaint for preliminary investigation is not a conviction. It is not, at this stage, a formal charge before a court. It is the office's determination that the evidence gathered is substantial enough to warrant a full and formal inquiry into whether or not the case should be filed in court. Every respondent will be given the opportunity to answer. The presumption of innocence stands, as it must, unless and until proven otherwise in the proper forum. At this point, we will ask the respondents, including former Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez, to answer the allegations contained in the complaint and put forth his defense. Once we receive his defense and that of his co-respondents, the case will be submitted for resolution, and the decision will lie with the panel of prosecutors whether or not the case should be filed in the Sandigan Bayan. I would like to assure the public that this office follows the evidence where it leads, regardless of the office once held, the influence still wielded, or the political weight of the name involved. Our investigation identifies former Speaker Romualdez as the central figure in a scheme built on the diversion of public funds meant for flood control projects. Funds that were supposed to shield Filipino communities from the very floods that year after year take their homes, their livelihoods, and too often their lives. His correspondents in this complaint include former Congressman Zaldico, among others. At the core of this case is the testimony this office does not take lightly. Sworn statements from 8 individuals who formerly served as Mr. Co's own security personnel. People who were present, who moved with him, who witnessed the exchanges firsthand, detailing the amounts delivered from Mr. Co to former Speaker Romualdez. This is not hearsay passed down secondhand. It is a first-hand account from those who were there. That testimony does not stand alone. It is corroborated by an independent evidentiary trail, from money exchange companies to bank transfers to shell companies, all using personalities tied to the former Speaker Martin Romualdez. The former security personnel of Mr. Zaldico record the first trace of money from Mr. Zaldico to the former Speaker. Investigation yields, however, that the money trail did not stop there. In an apparent attempt to cover up the extraordinary wealth, the money was exchanged, commingled, and laundered through an elaborate scheme. The result? Numerous luxury houses and condominiums, extravagant investments in different industries, and enough money left to change narratives, buy opinions, and attempt to destroy and manipulate evidence. Records drawn from the Anti-Money Laundering Council, money service businesses, and corporate structures that our investigators allege were used as an instrument in this scheme, when read together, tell one consistent story. Further, despite a precautionary whole departure order issued by the Sandigan Bayan, this office has received credible intelligence reports that former Speaker Martin Romualdez has not ceased attempting to leave the country. The office calls on all relevant agencies to make sure that this does not happen. Let me make this clear. We are not done collecting evidence. We are not done filing cases.